lash out. You might want to, you might want to take a few steps back. When she's down there, the barricade is to protect the audience, not the other way around. It is. Thank you.
You're eating it.
Oh, okay.
It's quite the experience. Here's to do it. Like tea and 1885, we're doing like a whole Thanksgiving menu and stuff. Grab it. I'm sure they'll do like, I don't know if they're doing an evening Thanksgiving thing.
I was like, man.
I just love doing like Asian. I don't know why, but yeah. I just because I'm Filipino, we grew up in
That sounds good, actually.
I'm trying not to make you lose. Yeah. So that's
John, how you doing?
Could you have put anybody else?
I didn't know who to send it to. I was like,
I mean, I know Ursula back in the day. I'm still here.
well, it's because it had a 311 thing on it. So I was like, well, who do 311? I was like, shit, I don't know. I'm like, the Earth, Tony, you, Bill, Joda, Julia, Brent. I'm like, you know what? I don't know who gonna fix it, but somebody.
We're gonna get it cleaned up, but I still want to know the person's claiming, like, we claim that we did it and closed it out. Like,
See why I put everybody
somebody
on?
said they can do it.
Well, you figure it out and let me know when y'all do it. And I would, and you know me, I get back to it. And I got it on there for the 30th. I check that. And
Your sin, but probably don't have no better.
no, this is, no. I should be like, I don't know who did what. I did that to you. I did to a lot of people today. I was like, I don't know who fixed nothing. I was like, my mind just like gone. So like, see everybody, see what's going on. Okay.
No, I think it becomes pretty almost simplified problem. Hear about it, you're like, I don't care what's going on.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our Tuesday, November 16th agenda session. Have a motion on the minutes. A motion in a second. If there's no objections, minutes will stand as recorded. Thank you. All right, moving into ordinances on final read. We have one finance item and a number of planning items. These were covered last week all the way, let's see, item A and then B through K. Is there anybody that has questions on any of these items that they would like to cover? Just a moment. Councilman Ledford, I see your light, sir.
Thank you, Chairman. We're going to read these in the record.
one more time?
Yeah, the chairman did ask us to read every single one of these items in his absence to ensure that we were thorough this week. But we're going to skip that.
I'll defer that. to you.
Okay,
All right,
that'd be
thank
good.
you.
Councilwoman Burrs.
Thank you very much, sir. Under ordinances, first reading, 6B.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
And I need to ask one thing.
Please.
Normally, even though it's going to be tabled, we go with, is the applicant here and is there opposition here? And there's not supposed to be anyone here, and they do know that it's going to be tabled. I am not going to ask for a presentation and go through all of that just to hear it's going to be tabled. So how would you like to handle that?
I'll still ask for opposition and applicant or applicant and opposition, ma'am, and then you can move to table at that point. I'll turn it over to you.
All right, so we're going to hear from the applicant and the opposition?
If you so choose, that'll be up to you.
No, sir, I don't.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you. All right, Councilwoman Coonrod. Sorry, Mr. Light.
Thank you, Chair. No problem. On the ordinances, first read, the council office, I'll be moving to withdraw that and to give time for the chairman and Councilwoman Burrs additional questions to be. Let's see, and, for us to decide if we're sending it to UTC or who's gonna be the appropriate person to research those things. From the questions that they, mentioned last week, I did submit those to MTAS. So once they give me an update, I will distribute that to the entire council.
Great. Thank you, ma'am. And that was 6A you're referring to?
Yes.
Madam Clerk, would you go ahead and read 6A just to make sure that we have that one? Great. Thank you. And Councilwoman Coonrod stated her desire to withdraw that this evening. Great. Planning first reading. Again, we did cover the planning items. Councilwoman Burrs had a comment. We took care of that. That moves us into resolutions. 7A, please, Madam Clerk.
A resolution recognizing the name change of the Heritage House Arts and Civic Center, City of Chattanooga to Don Eves Heritage House Arts and Civic Center, City of Chattanooga, in honor of former councilperson Don Eves.
Councilman Ledford.
Chairman, thank you. I just wanted to kind of add on to this item. We are working on a proclamation that I'm very excited about. The county mayor, from what I understand, the city mayor, the city council, and I just spoke to the chair person of the county commission, wants to be added to this proclamation as well. So I'm very excited. That will come, I believe on our schedule, Madam Clerk, for the 30th of this month
Excellent.
in a special presentation. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Under economic development, A through H. These were also all covered last week. Anybody have any questions on these items they'd like to discuss at this time? Okay. That takes us to I, Madam Clerk.
A resolution confirming Mayor Kelly's appointment of Shushma Shanta to a 3-year term on the Library Board of Directors.
J, please.
A resolution confirming Mayor Kelly's appointment of David Norty to a 4-year term on the Board of Electrical Examiners.
And K.
A resolution approving a special exceptions permit for an existing liquor store change in ownership located at 6401 Hickson Pike, Suite 6A.
All right, we'll move on to purchases. Council, any questions on purchases at this time? Seeing no lights, I'll open it up for future considerations as well. If there's any questions on those items you'd like answered at this time. right, taking it easy on the administration this evening. Either that or we're saving it up for later, Judd. I'm not sure which one yet. All right, I see no further lights. We have no departmental report tonight, which means we will adjourn our agenda session and move into Public Works Committee. Chairman Hester.
Good evening. Welcome to Parks and Public Works Committee. We accept the minutes. Madam Clerk, can you read Resolution 7L, please?
A resolution authorizing the administrator of the Department of Public Works to enter into agreement with CTI Engineers, Inc. for professional design services for contract number R21001101 Ross's Landing Water Cannon Improvements for the contract amount of $122,777.
I see no hands. M, please.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to approve change order number 4 final for J&J Contractors, Inc. of Chattanooga, Tennessee, relative to contract number Y15008-201, the new Avondale YFD Center for an increased amount of $4,540 for a revised contract amount of $5,973,728.25, and to release the remaining contingency amount of $5,460.
Thank you. Can you read N, O, P, and Q together, please?
A resolution declaring surplus of a mini track home manufacturer by IHI model number 55N2, serial number WP000964, and authorizing for the sale of the unit and buckets in as-is condition to the Highway 58 Volunteer Fire Department, Inc. for training purposes in the amount of $5,000. A resolution to amend resolution number 30476 as adopted on September 8, 2020, relative to the agreement of the closure post-closure plan for the city landfill with the state of Tennessee Division of Solid Waste Management by deleting an amount not to exceed $1,546,300.95 and substituting in lieu thereof an amount not to exceed $1,494,464.73. P, a resolution to amend resolution number 30477 as adopted on September 8, 2020, relative to the agreement for the closure post-closure plan for the city landfill lateral expansion area 3 with the state of Tennessee Division of Solid Waste Management by deleting an amount not to exceed $8,028,182.88 and substituting in lieu thereof an amount not to exceed $8,128,535.16. Q, a resolution to amend resolution number 30478 as adopted on September 8, 2020, relative to the agreement for the closure post-closure plan for the Summit Sanitary Landfill with the state of Tennessee Division of Solid Waste Management by deleting an amount not to exceed $1,424,995.67 and substituting in lieu thereof an amount not to exceed $1,262,457.10.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Mr. Stone.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
November 30, we're going to introduce legislation for a critical infrastructure ordinance. We've had a lot of damage to our bridges. Recently, we've had fires on our bridges, but on the 30th, can you speak on that, Van Taylor, please?
You bet. So as many are aware, we've had a couple of fires that have damaged some bridges. We want to get a better ability to clean out from under them. I went over this with Mr. Hester. He mentioned interest in seeing some pictures and some reasoning for this. Would everyone like a presentation?
So we do it now.
Gentlemen, could I get, oh man, he's on it. Okay, so critical infrastructure. I've sat there enough times to hear people say how to do this. There we go. Hickson Pike is the most damaging situation. You see here when we arrived the next day, there's still smoke coming up from the just the heat on the bottom of the bridge. Fire's completely out, of course. The damage there from all the stuff that's underneath of that bridge created such intense heat that it delaminated the concrete, created and actually started damaging the structural steel, making that bridge no longer able to handle its capacity needs. We had to completely close it. The Riverfront Parkway was another bridge that got caught on fire. Underneath of it, the materials below it, luckily being in the urban downtown area, this was responded to quicker, I believe. So it was able to be extinguished quickly. No long-term damage, just some surface issues. But you can see there is still a lot of debris that if that had been further away, allowed to burn, could have had a full closure of Riverfront Parkway as well. On the left, you see the debris, and on the right is after the fire department was able to have that cleaned up for us. Did I do that? Okay. Yep. So anyway, you get the idea. There's a lot of garbage underneath bridges, things that are accumulating. So our idea, we had them cleaned out under Riverfront Parkway, and we want to post to keep this stuff from piling back up. So what I've worked with City Attorney's Office is legislation to follow Tennessee code that references critical infrastructure. This is what TDOT does under its bridges. What we would do is there's the language there at the top. We're proposing to post these signs you see on the left here that will give law enforcement the authority to remove people. And it will give our public works people the authority to remove debris. So once we clean one of these, we can go in immediately thereafter and remove all of the items that are below the bridge before it starts to pile up. We are working with the Homeless Coalition folks as well. We're going to give them a flyer. They're notifying people where these signs are being posted, giving them time to remove their belongings, because no one wants to further interfere in people that are down on their luck. But this is a situation where we can't let things continue to pile up and give people notice to remove their things in a timely manner. Any questions?
Vice Chairman Smith.
Thanks, Ben. So the legislation or the language that you have listed here, this is ready to go in ordinance format?
Correct. It's set on the agenda now for the 30th.
Perfect. So is it already on then it's on the 3-week agenda, ready to move forward?
That's correct.
Good. Okay. Just want to make sure that it would gone through all the right timing and process. So it'll be on for the 30th.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
So Ben, every bridge would have this notification, right? The sign will be at every bridge, every pass.
Hopefully not. For those of you that know me, we have 55,000 signs. I don't want to put up a single another sign. I try to maintain every one of them. So we're doing this as needed. Areas where we obviously have critical infrastructure that could be devastated. The Veterans Bridge, Shallowford Road, some areas where we've seen problems in the past, we will follow the signs in those areas. As we do annual bridge inspections, we see things starting to pile up, we'll assign those, but they'll kind of follow an as-need basis.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Councilman Lefford.
Thank you, Chairman. Hey, Ben. You're not getting off that easy, you know that. So can you explain a little bit further from my education when we're talking to constituents in our districts about this policy or this change? There are a lot of bridges going over other roads that are becoming in rough shape, let's just say. And what qualifies those bridges? Does an incident have to happen? Do we have to experience damage before we go, let's mark that one now?
Not at all. So that's the issue. We've seen items below bridges that are obviously something that they've stored there. So in the past, we've gone through a process of trying to notify, get notice out to people. But with this process, where we start seeing that regularly, they'll be posted and we can immediately go in there and remove items. And of course, the biggest thing is to try to do it when there's just a few, because once it gets as cluttered as what we had in Riverfront Parkway, then we have to hire, bring in people that are in the full hazmat suits for anything that may be within those belongings. So we want to do it when it's small enough that we can use a crew to clean it out quickly.
Okay. Do you want to hear from us on bridges in our districts that we have information?
Definitely. Anytime anyone sees something that could be a safety issue, which I deem any pile up of debris underneath of a bridge or any other structure as a safety issue.
Okay. Have we assigned a cost and some sort of because if you look around Chattanooga, they're very popular spots. And I think you know some of the bridges that I'm talking about and have been talking about for probably 2 years. Do we know, or can you explain a little bit how we're going to handle that?
I'm not familiar with the bridges specifically, but there is a very high cost if it's already in a very bad shape. We have to go through, like I said, the contract group that goes in and cleans them out for us. I'll have to review which ones you're looking at, but if it's something we can do internally, we will. And that'll be a lower cost, but then there's that threshold of if it's too much to assign public work staff to do, then we would have to contract that out. The fire department, as I mentioned, did that for us. They took that bill for Riverfront Parkway. We've been working with the fire department, the police department, city attorney's office, and the homeless coalition on this going so far. And I'm sure we'll figure out a way if we have to use that contract again to clean out a bigger structure.
Okay. Okay. We'll talk again offline. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Chairman, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
Very good.
Any other questions? Well, what's your pleasure? Adjourn to 6.